Okay, guys, I said I would have this key up for you. I don't know when I will see you again. Chillax is pretty crazy, but we'll just go from there. So we'll start with this first one, A. So you can see that these guys have the same base, so I'm just adding the exponents. So that's going to be 12x. Now I got to do this. So that's 5 halves is 10 fourths. So negative 1/4 plus 10 fourths is 9 fourths over negative 3x to the negative 3 fourths, which becomes negative 4, because that divides there. And 9 fourths minus 3 fourths is 12 fourths, which is the third. So it is negative 4 to the third. Over here, this multiplies into everything since it's negative. I get 7. I get the 768 divided by 3. I would do that first to get 256. B to the negative 1 over C to the negative 1. And then all of that is multiplied by negative 3/8 to get 256. The B is going to become positive, 3/8. The C is going to become positive, so they're okay. And the coefficient will become negative, so it has to go to the denominator, 256 to the positive 3/8. And then over here, it's just combining all of your exponents. So that's got to multiply there. So the top is going to be a to the 1/3 and a to the negative 10/15 over a to the 4/3. Then you got to add that to get a to the negative 1/3 over a to the 4/3. And that gets you a to the negative 5/3, which gets you 1 over a to the 5/3. This is a to the negative 6, so that's 1 over a to the 6th. This is negative 50, b to the negative 13, which equals, not a line, which equals negative 50 over b to the positive 13. And this is negative 7 x to the negative 2 times x to the negative 1, which is negative 7x to the negative 3, which is negative 7 over x to the third. This is negative 2 to the negative 3, a to the negative 9, 3a to the 12th. So the a's are going to team up, so that's going to be 3a to the third, and this negative 2 to the positive 3 is going to go down there, which gets me negative 3a to the third over 8. This is E. 16 divided by 4 is negative 4. A6 over A6 cancels. Negative 3 minus 3 cancel is negative 6. So I've got b to the negative 6. So I've got negative 4 over b to the 6th. And F, the negative. Now, there's a lot of ways you can do this. You can bring the negative into everything, or you can just do this. 1 over negative 3, a to the 5th, b to the negative 3, c to the 0, to the positive 2, which gets me 1 over 9, a to the 10th, b to the negative 6. Negative 6 is in the bottom, so I got to have b to the 6th up top over 9a 9 to the 10th. And simplify these. I would simplify here first to get 8a to the negative 6, b to the negative 2 times, negative 8, a to the negative 2 over negative 3, b to the negative 3. So 8 times 8 on the top is negative 64, a to the negative 8, b to the negative 2 over negative 3, b to the negative 3. Two negatives means I've got 64 over 3, and the a has to go to the denominator, a to the 8th, and negative 2 minus minus 3 is positive 1, so b comes up to the numerator. Here, this is a weird one because the 3 only goes there. So I have 10 p to the negative 9, q to the negative 6, and r is gone over. Now this one goes to everywhere. 8 to the negative 2, p to the positive 6, q to the negative 10, and r to the negative 6. So this has to come up to the numerator. So I get 640. Negative 9 minus 6 is p to the negative 15, so that's got to go down there. And negative 6 minus minus 10 is plus 4, so q to the positive 4. And this negative 6 makes the r have to come up. Here, you got to deal with this, then this. So this is going to be negative 2 to the negative 2, x to the negative 10, y to the negative 6, z to the negative 16. So I would deal with all this now. So it's 1 over 4, because that's negative 2 to the positive 2 now, x to the 10th, y to the 6th, z to the 16th, times, now I would clean this up, negative 8 x to the 6th, y to the negative 24, not negative 24, because I've moved it, and z to the 36th. Now I would just tidy this up, and I would get why did I do that? I don't want to do that. Y to the negative 24 and z to the 36th. Now this comes over here, because this is all over 1, and I get negative 2, y to the negative 24, so negative 24 minus 6. Oh, messed myself up. I'm erasing all this and starting from scratch. Okay, this is negative 2 to the negative 2, x to the negative 10, y to the negative 6, z to the negative 16, times 8, x to the 6th, y to the negative 24, z to the 36th. Now, this becomes 1/4 positive, 1/4. So 8 times 1/4 is 2. If you heard that rumbling, that was my trees crashing outside. Negative 10 plus 6 is x to the negative 4. Negative 6 plus negative 24 is y to the negative 30. Negative 16 plus 36 is z to the 20th. So I get 2z to the 20th over x to the 4th, y to the 30th. And over here, this is division, so I'm going to do this side first. I'm going to get negative this is going to be 5a 3b2 times -2 to the -3, a to the -6 to the +6, and b to the -3. All that is going to be over -5 to the -2, a to the -16, and b to the 18th. Now let's tidy this up. This is a bear. This becomes -1. Oh, I don't want to do that way. I want to tidy up just the front. So that's going to be 5a3b2 times 1 over -2 cubed, a to the +6, e to the -3. So that is 5a to the 9th, b to the -1 over -8, which becomes 5a to the 9th over -8b. Now that is divided by, now I want to tidy this one up, which is 1 over -5 squared, a to the -16, b to the 18th. So that is 1 over 25, a to the -16, b to the 18th. That -16 has to come up to here. So I'm going to erase it from there. And I get 5a to the 25th this is divided by, so what I get is 5a to the 9th over -8b times 25b to the 18th over a to the 16th, which gets me 125. They all disappear, and there's going to be 7 a's on the bottom. This whole answer is negative because of that. And I got an 8 down there, and that b cancels, and I'm left with 17 b's up there. Whew, what a mess. Okay, there we go.